we go. We got Miss Tracy up. Miss Tracy is up. How you doing?
Great.
Why you popped up like you was you doing something? What's going on here?
I can't see my screen, so I was trying to see what you sent
Okay.
another message.
Right.
You sent,
All is the same message, and all Kwame gotta do is click the link. So if you call him, we get on here and we can have our conversation about character. Family, we talking about character and the importance of character in tribe building as well as in personal success. And we're gonna be coming from a video that was done by KRS1. And we're gonna be mixing it up. So those of you that want to join the conversation, I can make it possible. I can make it possible for you to join the conversation. Oh, I got the blunt talk stuff on the back. Why is the blunt talk? I don't want chat overlay. What's that? Oh hell no. Nah. All right. Graphics. All right. I'm trying to get the thing. There we go. All right, Brother Kwame still has not responded. We're trying to get him together. Come on in, Brother Kwame. Brother Hatim, the Brother Kwame, come in. Over. Oh, there you go. Brother Kwame is in the house.
all right.
So we got an echo. We got a horrible
No,
echo.
it was me.
Okay, cool. So now we are having a discussion.
Can we hear you, Kwame?
We are having a
Can you hear
discussion
me?
today about character. There was a speech made by Brother KRS1. What's that in the background? That ain't. So first off, I need to let everybody know. I don't know. Can you hear this, Miss Tracy?
Hear what?
So you ain't hear the thunder?
No.
Hmm. Okay. So my sound effects is no good on this. Damn. So I gotta share a screen or something. That's messed up. But anyway, I ain't got my sound effects, family. I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I am your host, Brother Hatim. I am joined by Miss Tracy. I'm also joined by the Black Yoda, Brother Kwame Keechler. And we are here to have a discussion on this Resurrection Day, on this Easter Day, about character. Of course, you know this is a Heart of December production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. I don't have I need my explosion, Brother Kwame. I can't do it, brother. But anyway, so anybody want to join the conversation? Oh, somebody listening to this in the background. Y'all gotta turn that off because the music coming through too loud. So anybody want to join the conversation, by all means, feel free to join us. You can go and post up your comments. And if it's strong enough, I can go and send you a link and get you on up in here so that you can join the conversation with us. Or I could just open up the black line. I was trying to do everything on the matter of fact, I'm gonna open up. Hold on. I know what I can do. I know exactly what I can do. All right, so while I'm figuring this out, give me 1 second because I can share what we're doing. No, I can't because y'all will hear it, so I'm not gonna do that. I will just come back. I will pull this down and put this up on Telegram, and well, if we can, put it up on Telegram as well as download the audio so that we can go and put this up on
Is
our
that
stream.
Marilyn Monroe beside you, behind you?
Yeah, I was at the hookah shop. Yeah, years ago. You know. What, you got something against Marilyn?
No, I don't.
All right, so now, is everybody ready? Kwame's signal is kind of weak, and he fell off. So it's just me and you, Miss Tracy. So, you know, it was your suggestion to talk about this video. Now, for those that don't know, let me see. I'm going to get the video, and I'm going to share the link for everybody. Let me go. Kwame's trying to get back in. Let me get Kwame back in real quick. I'm going to share the link. Ooh, I took Miss Tracy off. There go Kwame right there.
I'm still here.
No, I took you wouldn't know that I took you off. I am going to share the link for the video, because I still got it refreshed. Although I ain't listened to it since Nia. It's an excellent video, and he's making some excellent points about character. Now, because do we want to talk about the things we agree on first, or do we want to talk about the things we disagree on? Disagree with on, because I could, because I could go either way. Because there's some stuff in there, because he makes some excellent points, but there's other stuff in there that I'm looking at, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling you, especially after reading Kwame's, because for those that don't know, those that have access to the newsletter. Speaking of, those of you that want to, hold on, how do I get I just want the link. I'm gonna have to open it, so excuse me for 1 second, family. Can y'all hear that?
I hear some faint music in the background. That's all I hear.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Because I could share the video and we could watch a little bit of it if we wanted to. If we wanted to. That's just if we wanted to. Right? Okay, cool. Because I'm learning a lot of stuff right now. This is dope, man. Family, this is literally dope. But anyway, I'm gonna stop, because I'm up here playing with stuff. So I am pinning in the chat. I'm pinning up the YouTube video that we're coming from. It is called KRS-One, a discussion on character. So, and I think it's such an appropriate discussion for us to have today, especially because like we're moving out of the Mojo week of this 7 week. This is the third 7 week cycle that we are in for this year, right? So now we're moving into Kuji Chagalia, and I think it's a nice wrap up on the principle of Umoja to talk about character. So, and also if I need to, I could pull up Kwame's piece on it. I could pull up something that I just wrote for this as far as character to go and start the discussion, unless somebody has something that they want to jump in with.
I'm gonna start off because I feel like we're not starting anything yet. So when I first when the video first got jumped into my lap, I was like, oh man, this is way too long. Once I got into it, I'm like, where's the part 2? So it was definitely an eye opener. One thing he started out saying was, what's your character? He said he could size up your character by your words and the things that you're attracted to. But another thing is you can size up somebody's character by how they do things. And this is my opinion. So is
that might be you.
I don't know what it could be though.
All right, hold on. Let me check your mic. Go ahead, say something, Miss Tracy.
Is it my mic?
I have no idea. I'm looking. Nope.
Okay. Because I
But
have a
anyway,
real mic if this was a problem.
you have a who?
A real mic.
A real mic.
Yeah.
Well, why the hell you ain't on the real mic? We doing real things. We got to be on
My
real time.
computer was dying, so I had to relocate. So anyway, how you do anything is how you do everything. So
Uh,
if you watch a person, you know, or I don't want to say watch like you're a stalker, but if you pay attention to people, you'll learn a lot about them.
hold on, let me see. Yeah, that's brother Kwame. Kwame, something going on with your mic.
And we can't hear you because you just said something and we didn't hear you.
Oh, he was cussing. That's what that was. He was cussing. So I muted him until. Hold on. Hold on. I know he got 2 goddamn things open. All right, Kwame, you got. No, that's Miss Tracy. My fault. All right, but we still working on it. We're gonna get. So I'm putting them on mute until we figure out what's going on.
Okay, so so you get to, especially if you're around people, you get to learn more about their character and how they do things. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. I liked how he talked about, the abilities or things that we used to do. When I say we, I'm talking about our ancestors, things that we used to do that is now classified as against our cultural principles or something of the sort. So those were and I've heard that before. It was and it really, when I heard it before, it started opening me up to things, because it's some things that you would immediately, like I had porn libations was a challenge for me in the beginning, because the way that I grew up was like, no, you don't do that. However, the reality is, if you stop saying, what's the proverb? Person dies twice. Once at their death, and then again when the last person says their name. And we already come from a culture that we have such a lost history. It makes no sense to continue, once you know better, you do better, to continue losing our history, continue losing our family. Our culture was built on family, just from the beginning of time, in my opinion.
Right.
So that, so that was one of the things that, really alerted me to, all right. And then it's funny too, because me and my brother, we grew up together, and he's the reader in the family. And he brings to the attention. I'm like, oh no, I don't know about that. But then we both agree on some things, like, nah, we're going to open up things slowly.
Right.
We're going to open up things slowly so we could be able to close it back up if we need to. So it having him and that understanding that we can have an understanding that, just because we were raised this way doesn't mean that's the only way in life. And so him bringing that up about the abilities in the future, reading other people's minds, and the healings and the things that we used to do back in the day that we no longer do anymore, because it can be classified as inappropriate or not of God, so to speak. So that was one of the things that came to my attention.
Yeah. So now let me ask you this: you said it when you first opened it, and because it was dropped on our lap. For those that don't know, like I said, in Gye-Nyame, like I said, it's constant. We constantly train. I'm constantly looking for things to throw out to get us to thinking, and other people are doing the same thing. So I throw things out, right? It's like it's like homework. So because I remember the conversation, like, man, it's so long. I said, give it a chance. Give it a chance, right? Because I have some Amos Wilson stuff that I think we need to go through. That's going to be once you get on that. Listen, I mean, the amount of time that you spend doing it, because like I said, I use in what way did you force yourself? How did you start your listening journey?
Listening to it on my way to work, on my way from work, in the house. Just once it got my attention, it was like trying to listen to it every chance I got. So I was actually listening to it on my breaks that I was getting at school. So the start of it was listening on my drive to work, listening on my drive home from work. And then from there, that start, building things up. But then I wanted to like listen to it where I could take notes. So it was, the catcher was, driving. But then once I was able to come and take notes, then I felt like more fulfilled or understanding than what he was talking about.
I feel you. Now, so what I'm gonna do is so that Kwame will be able to join us because he's having some serious difficulties. I just opened up the Black Line, my brother. I'm about to go on and share the Black Line screen on here. I need to find that particular one. I got share audio tab, dial pad. Want to share. There we go. So you should be able to come on and be part of the conversation. Where's it at? There you go, right there. Let me turn the mic on. Mic is on. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. So I got you up. So come on in. You can hang this up and come on over to unless you got this, yeah, because it's still echoing. So I'm gonna go and hang that up.
Black Line Kwame.
So he could come in and he could join the conversation. So you started listening to it on breaks and stuff like that. Now, for a lot of those out there, when you start the journey that we're making, it's going to require constant study. And what you're going to start finding out is that you're not going to have as much time to sit down and open up a book and read. So we have to learn in multiple fashions on the journey. We have to be willing to get out here and put in the work. Because like I said, a lot of stuff, since I travel a lot, I have to pick up a book or listen in on a book.
Call may be or transcribed.
Now, Miss Tracy, can you hear him?
Yes, I can.
I guess you can hear me okay now.
Yeah, we can hear you good now. We good. and we can see you. Ain't that something? So, hey, what's crazy is we start moving away from the Black Line. The Black Line started improving. What kind of shit is that? But go ahead, brother.
No, I mean, the Black Line's always worked for me. It's just there's something just really incompatible about my mic and this Telegram app because Miss Tracy said she saw my button was unmuted, but I still couldn't be heard. So the only time it actually works for me is if I initiate a call to somebody or a video call to somebody. But if we try to do, like we're doing, then
you have to go on.
Okay, so where we at?
You have to go into settings. Right now, we are where Miss Tracy was struggling with the fact that she that it was so long, and I was just talking about how
I'm past that.
But you're not the only one. We have a whole tribe of people that will look at something like a 2-hour lecture, be like, "That's too damn long."
My aunt just sent me something that said 1 hour and 15 minutes. I said, "Oh, I got to get to this meeting."
I'm just saying, because like I said, for a real lecture, shit, 2 hours, shit, that ain't you almost made it to intermission. You don't know some real shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You almost made it to intermission.
Yeah, man, this is new school type stuff here.
So let's be clear. So and the piece that I want to talk about is now let's bring up, because what I asked first is, do we want to deal I guess since y'all can't hear the rain, I could turn it off. Can
No, I
anybody?
heard your question, but I think we should just, basically do like Sister Tracy started out doing, and that is pick something that interests you, express, what your thoughts were on it, ask questions about it of each other, or shoot, just let it flow. Don't try to encapsulate it or bifurcate it or compartmentalize it. Just let the conversation go where it takes us.
I'm just trying to be a good host. Y'all
And
in
you're great,
Gye-Nyame
man.
land, even though y'all Gye-Nyame members. But so cool. Now let me just go. The thing that hit me the most was when he said, "I'm giving up the game on the initiation the initiation process into the temple," and I could really relate. That's what started grabbing me. Cause I always try to listen to KRS-One. It's cause it's sparse and far in between. Like it's like the last lecture he did was like 2 years ago. Matter of fact, he on right now because you got to be on the Temple of Hip Hop piece to get it. And I also have the scriptures from the Temple of Hip Hop. And I've been vibing with KRS-One since the late 80s. You understand what I'm saying? And
That's
I like the direction he went. Oh, a very long time. I stopped eating pork, not because of Islam, but because of KRS-One. I stopped eating beef because of KRS-One, right? I started, I started really getting into the whole spiritual piece and start moving away just from the historical piece because of KRS-One's lyrics. So whenever I have an opportunity to share, because one of the things that KRS-One did was when he entered the conversation with "I am hip hop," I was one of those that wasn't offended because I'm hip hop too. You understand?
Right.
I understand.
I remember you saying it.
You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying because I come from because out of hip hop, even the whole God concept that we rock with in Gye-Nyame, that shit came out of hip hop. Gye-Nyame is rooted in hip hop and the courage to express a lot of the ideas that I express in Gye-Nyame is through my experience with hip hop. So we not only am I hip hop, we're hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So but when he talked about giving up the secrets of the temple, and it was something so simple, but something we have been doing for a very long time, made a whole lot of sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And for those that don't know, if you go back, because I want you to listen to it, I don't want to ruin it for you, but the basic initiation is know thyself. And the way that you work with that statement. And it just don't have to be that statement. Right? So we could go through that exercise right now. Miss Tracy, I'm sorry. You was trying to say something. Y'all better cut me off because I get excited about this shit.
Of course. So the know thyself piece, that is definitely.
Miss Tracy, were you saying something?
Oh, you can't hear her?
You can't hear me, Kwame?
Nuh-uh.
What?
All right.
And we thought we made it.
No, we did make it because I do know how to do this. If you want to
rock
with me.
Wait a second. Hold up. Let me try something.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now? He said no. Can you hear me, Tim?
I can hear you now, but this is what I'm gonna challenge. This is the challenge now, because I know exactly how to get it so that it works. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Hang up, and call into the black line. Because Kwame is on the black line, and if you can hear him, that means that everybody can hear him. You understand what I'm saying? Which means that if you get on the black line, I could keep streaming from here, and both of y'all will be able to hear each other. Because what's going on is we have a computer system that is hold on. Hold on. Oh, damn. She moved fast.
I'm still here.
Hold on. I mean, can you give me a second, please? I'm like, damn.
Look, man.
I'm here. You can't hear me?
Yeah. Don't say that too loud. She take that very personal. But hold on. So, somehow I lost. You still there, Kwame? All right, let me go back to sharing screen because I think I might have another solution for that too as well, Miss Tracy. Hold on. Let me share screen. Window.
I have to log off here altogether.
No, don't log off yet. Don't log off yet. All right, so now, say something, Miss Tracy.
Something, Miss Tracy.
Can you hear it now, Kwame?
Kwame, can you hear me?
All right, we're gonna get off and come on over to the black line, yeah. Say something. The black line, yeah. Say something. The black line, yeah. Say something. The black line, yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing if y'all could be heard by the people. Check 1, check 2. Say something. Yeah, I'm seeing if y'all could be heard by the people. Check 1, check 2. Say something. Yeah, I'm seeing if y'all could be heard by the people. Check 1, check 2. Say something. Yeah, I'm seeing if y'all could be heard by the people. Check 1, check 2. Say something. I'm on a crazy loop now. Hold on, share screen. I'm seeing if y'all could be heard by the people. Check 1, check 2. Say something. I'm on a crazy loop now. Hold on, share screen. All right. I'm on a crazy loop now. Let's try it now.
My mic sounds nice. Check
right.
1.
I'm on a crazy loop now. Let's try it now.
My mic sounds nice. Check 1.
All right. Go ahead, Miss Tracy. Say something.
My mic sounds nice. Check 1.
All right. Go ahead, Miss Tracy. Say something. All right. Go ahead, Miss Tracy. Say something. All right. Go ahead, Miss Tracy. Say something. All right. It's a loop that's out this world.
Is that coming through?
It's a loop that's out this world. I'm waiting for Miss Tracy to get on. I think once we start talking, I think it might stop. If not, it's a loop that's out this world. Oh, I know what it is. Miss Tracy get on. I think once we start talking, I think I solved it. So where Miss Tracy at? Here she go.
There she is.
It didn't ask me for my name, so my name is not correct on here.
What you mean it's not correct?
It's supposed to be Miss Tracy.
That's El Sheba Elevates. That's your business name, is it not?
Elishaba.
Oh, now she want to get fly. Okay. I got it. User profile. You want me to change it?
No, I'll leave it like it is.
All right, cool. All right, let's do that. So now let's get back. Where was we before we fell off into The deep hole. Um, Made sure it's recorded just in case I miss. So now, anybody
It was
remember where we
me.
were?
I wanted to say something about the know thyself.
Uh huh.
Um, he brought up the words you choose is the life you will live. And the examples that he brought up kind of messed with my mind a little bit, but he brought up, I don't want to use the wrong name, but was it Slick Rick?
You might stop. If not,
Yeah, Slick Rick was one.
I know what it is.
So he brought up Slick Rick, and then he brought up Criminal Minds for himself, and just and how
I think I saw
Slick
some
Rick's
women's Tracy.
lyrics actually
Here she
played
goes.
out in his. It didn't ask me for my name, so I'm like,
All right. What did we miss?
Sister Tracy was just speaking on.
the words you choose is the life you will live. And he brought up Slick Rick, and he also brought up Criminal Minds.
No, Criminal Minded.
Criminal
Dang, she young. She young.
Criminal Minded. So one of the things he brought up with Slick Rick was lyrics that Slick Rick actually played out in his life specifically. And it just reminds me of my own workshop where we spoke on the power of I am. When you say I am, what you say after those words become you. And so that is something that I really encourage my students to be careful and mindful of what they say when they say I am. And that's something that I do anyway with the term I am. And he said, I am who I say I am to create my reality to stay free. So that is what he does so that he can create his own reality instead of living somebody else's truth, maybe, in my opinion, about him. And I say it like that because I also was a part of a workshop where we paid attention to the word you're stupid versus you're acting stupid. I guess that's not a good example.
Right. That is a good example.
That's a good example.
That's a great example.
Attacking the person, attacking the being,
yes,
and not their actions. And that's so right. Sometimes we as adults definitely, but also as like an older sibling, is something I thought about too. Careful in what we say about someone. Again, this is still talking about character.
Right. Right.
So when we define or become or build our character, it's important for us to be the author of that character and not to allow other people's influence to define ourselves. That's what I got from that piece.
Okay. And that was a nice piece to get. You understand? Yeah. And that's nice to share because your life. Say that again. Your life what?
The words you choose is the life you will live.
Go ahead, Kwame. I'm gonna shut up for a second. I'm out of uniform.
No, I mean, one of the again, a lot of my talk around words, things like that, it's coming from my study of the Medu Neter. So, we talk about that idea of I am. And, he expressed the idea I am that I am. Well, at least that expression was first used in Kemet. Now, I can't say it was first used in Kemet, but the expression that comes to us through Kemet was Enek Pu Enek. I am that I am. And if I were to express myself to say that I am a brother, there's a whole nother kind of expression that comes into play. They say it this way. They say, I am as your brother. And that means that me and Hatem, I could say that to him, I am as your brother. If I were speaking to my blood brother, I I can use that same expression, or to emphasize the point that he and I came from a similar or a common ancestor to both of our knowledge. I would use another expression. I'd say "enek," and then your brother or your brother. And so this whole idea of how we express "I am," in English, it takes on a whole nother kind of conceptualization when you're trying to do it in the Medu Neter for one, but in a lot of ancient languages for the other. And thus one of the limitations of English. Because if you say I am a father, that the idea, I mean, he spoke briefly to part of the discussion about metaphysics and existence and being. Well, if the only thing you're being is a father, that would suggest that you could be nothing else. So, in other words, when I speak of Sister Tracy, I speak of her as my sister. I speak to her as a mother. I speak to her as a daughter. I speak to her as, all these different things that she's associated with doing. But I don't say that's what she is. And in English, of course, when I say I'm a mathematician, then it basically boils down to that's about the only damn thing I can do. So there's an interesting take on some of the linguistics that comes into play in terms of some of the expressions that we use, and particularly that we borrow to express ourselves.
So one of the things, one of the things that I really loved about the whole hip hop piece, because Karos won't bring all that stuff up for me, is the audacity of those of us in hip hop that feel that we could create our own everything, our own language. Because one of the things that you bringing up, we had limits in what we can express, so we had to come up with different words to kind of describe the feelings that we had. So for a long time, a lot of people didn't understand that bad meant good until somebody told them in a rap. But all over the country, Black folks had an understanding of this because it was coming from a cultural context. And what we have to understand is that we're trying to understand and see a world from a cultural context that is not our own. Now, those of you who have got our e-newsletter, I spoke about this coming out of Umoja. The whole week I was talking about how can I put it? Our cultural context has been hijacked and it is under someone else's control so that everything we do benefits them. Our energy, our spirit, our minds are being guided and directed into a cultural context that is not ours and is being used to destroy us. As a matter of fact, our destruction fuels it. And a lot of us don't, it's kind of hard for us to think about this. It's kind of, because it's like we're caught up on such basic survival things that we can't see that,
That's right,
that we are being used against ourselves to destroy ourselves. So we're looking at the world through a cultural context. And what I loved about hip hop was hip hop said to me, it's okay to create. Something is not right. And although it wasn't words being spoke to me, I could look at the reality. Like, for example, I remember, and I felt bad about this for years. My grandfather was the best man I know. So let me preface this with saying this. My grandfather was the best man I know, and I couldn't have a better example of manhood. But one day, my grandfather approached me. I just turned 17 or 18. I was still living in his house. My mom was in Columbus. I had received this. I knew at that point in time I was going to Ohio State. I received a full academic scholarship to Ohio State. I was on the football team. I was in no trouble whatsoever. I just like breakdance. No, actually, this was somewhere around 10th or 11th grade. I take that back. I wasn't going to Ohio State yet, but I was out of trouble. I was breakdancing and I was rapping and stuff. And my grandfather approached me and he said, "You know, I might buy you a car or help you get a car if you would stop spinning on your head and spitting with your mouth all the damn time." And I said, "So what you saying? You want me to be like you? You want me to work and never have no time?" You know what I'm saying? I said things like that. And, you know, as I got older, it hurt me because I wasn't trying to hurt him, but I was rebelling against the lifestyle that he was forced to have to live in order to support us. And hip hop gave me an avenue to see that I didn't have to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So in a sense, it gave us the power to speak our own reality. It gave us a power to start creating our own reality, which some of us did. And some of us still are doing. I'm sorry. You can't let me go, man. Yeah, I just...
No, shoot, bro. Yeah. Look, the lessons are in the stories, man. So
I mean, because that right there was you weren't. It wasn't an attack against him. Again, it wasn't. You weren't rebelling against him. You were just rebelling against, you know, the life that was set up for him in that moment.
Right. See, because for me, even young, because I remember one time I ran into my father years, you know, here in Columbus. He said, "You still trying to get rich?" Ever since they known me, I was young. I was trying to get rich. I wasn't trying to sell. I wasn't trying to do none of the illegal shit. I just felt that I was supposed to be able to amass a large amount of wealth. And the thing that they used to ask me is you still trying to do this? And I felt that I could create that reality. But everybody around me was not living that reality. Everybody around me thought that me even thinking about that reality was foolish. I needed to get in the factory, or I needed to go to college to become an engineer so that I could get a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
You know, and I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share that because it's like I was reaching to try to do what Miss Tracy said. I was trying to talk the life that I lived. So I was very careful, even when I was young. I was very careful in how I treated people. You know what I'm saying? I was very careful in how, you know what I'm saying? And that lifestyle has delivered for me. A lot of people don't understand that lifestyle delivered for me, boy, oh boy, in a big way. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, shoot, that's what's up.
That's another one of the points that he that KRS-One made. He's like, you want to go, it's important to go for where I am now to another position. How do you get past the environment of right now? How do you get past of where you are to get to where you want to be? You know, success is in the story that you create.
Word.
And I remember his answer being, you got to get out your own way.
I just read that. You got to get out your own way. Your body is the only thing in your way. Get control of the flesh. You got control of your life.
Now, part of where I guess I don't disagree with his conclusion, but I guess I may have some argument about how he got there. And that is this idea that there always seems to be this sense of trying to cut the spirit as it is away from the body. Now, when he talks about the self, you know, I was telling you how Tim the other day that, you know, for that in our tribal quotes is referred to as the inner head.
The inner head, which is, now, hold on. That is a revolutionary idea, homie. I mean, I don't even know if you know. See, that's why we got to study our culture, family, because now, I'm just saying, I'm going to leave it up. Go ahead, because that was dope. But go ahead.
No, but yeah, so, what we're talking about is the inner head. However, when we describe ourselves as human beings, it seemed that he was taking some exception to that. And I was saying that as a human being, I would say that most of us don't know how to be. And so we experience a great deal of difficulty in this idea of being, because were we to know how to be, a lot of those things that we refer to as emotional turmoils, different things like that, that's not necessarily going to move us.
Right.
And even when we get, well, basically, to summarize it, the conditions around us will only hinder us to the degree that the natural laws of the universe permit them. Because I did take a little exception to his notion of natural, supernatural. To me, the natural, the ignorant think is basically difficult. For what they call the supernatural, the ignorant think is impossible. So you are only limited by what you know. And if you perceive something as natural because you can see it, then I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Can you go a little bit more in depth on that one, please? You say if you consider something, go ahead.
If you perceive only what you see to be natural, you're wrong. That which you can't see is also of nature and natural. Now, I'll just shut up after this quote. In one of the books of the Meta Nature that I've been having to translate, it's the Transformations of Ra. The first line, or let me think, not the first line, but about the third line. It goes, I came into being as the transformative process of existence. I am evolving as manifestations of the initial form. Now understand this. I came into being as a transformative process. Well, if I'm a process, then that means I always was. And then it finishes off by saying, I am evolving as manifestations of this initial form. It's saying that everything that comes into being is an aspect of that initial form. Which means that if what you thought you could not perceive or what you could not see was supernatural, it's saying you're wrong. That's all a part of the natural order of the universe, what we in our tribal codes refer to as the tribal, the cosmic order or the cosmic law.
And see, and because like I said, I kind of take exception with the notion that, once again, because you already kind of spoke on this, but in Gye-Nyame, I try to make sure people know that the physical or the body is as important as the spirit. They all work together to formulate who we are. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times people move towards trying to push one of them down and elevate the other, not realizing that they are not bringing it into what the universe, or what we call that balance, because the body is the tool in which the spirit experiences the world. So you have to
That's
take care of
right.
the body like you take care of the
That's right.
spirit. You have to take
That's
care of
right.
the emotions because the emotions keep you moving. You got to be clear of mind and you have to be plugged into your intuition. This is what we call the 5 parts of being in Gye-Nyame, and learning how to align these and respect all of them because they're all important. You know what I'm saying? It's only when we come to the Western world where they start dissecting and separating all these things. And that becomes problematic. So even because he kind of spoke about that in his lecture, but even when you hear him talk about the natural and the supernatural, he kind of
Yes.
still is wrestling with that
Yes.
concept of
Yes.
oneness, of
Yes.
that emoji that I talk about. See, because all last week, family, you got to get, if you don't got the, all last week I talked about the illusion of disunity. I want y'all to I want y'all to really listen to that. I talked about the whole last week the illusion of disunity. And in a sense, what we're talking about now fits into it because it's the separation of the spirit, mind, and body is an illusion. Just like the idea that there's this unity, that's all there is in our community, is a damn illusion. And we
Yep.
play into these illusions, and in playing into these illusions, we lose. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm sorry. Miss Tracy, where you at, woman? Come on, girl.
That gets one. I'm sorry. This is taken away from what we're talking about, but
Not
that
really.
remind me of this daggone water the teacher told me to try. Like, hey, did you try this water hint? And so I tasted the water hint. The water is an illusion that it tastes like something.
No. And you say that's taken away, but it's adding to because one, we're giving people a actual physical thing where they can experience what we're talking about on a mental and a spiritual level.
Yeah.
You understand what
That
I'm
was
saying?
my thought of that water.
Sister
Have y'all
Tracy,
had the water before?
Sister Tracy, that's why it's called hit.
Oh my goodness.
Got a hand or
And then
something.
I always go back to Duolingo.
Oh my goodness.
We're
I'm
only
tasting that water
selling you the
like
idea of learning a language.
I was upset. Like, this is, I mean, I don't know. It made me mad. Like, this is not what I was expecting.
So, I mean, but family, it's but now the exercise that he gave, what did y'all think about the initiation process that he did on stage in like 5 minutes? Because y'all do know that was an initiation.
Well, again, yeah, of course. Well, let me not say of course, but yes. But I thought it was
interesting. I'm trying to figure it out. Go ahead.
What?
I thought it was interesting that he referred to as the quote unquote newbie as a neophyte.
Mm.
But again, because of course those are all coming out of another cultural tradition.
Right.
Yeah, so
But
what was the initiation?
What?
okay, take her through it, Tim.
All right, cool. He says, first off, you walk up to the temple and you will see written across the wall words. You might understand them, you might not. And they says, know thyself. Right. Now, if you read know thyself, you'd be like, of course. And you keep on walking. You have eliminated yourself from the initiation process. You are not, your glass is too full. You can't deal with that. Your character does not match theirs. But if you was to come and you was to ask the question,
right, I remember.
What does that mean? Right? What does that mean?
I remember.
Know thyself. And they say go away and come back in 7 years. First off, the first part of initiation is surviving the 7 years and being able to come back. The next step, according to him, was that you would say, all right, you've been waiting. I'm going to teach you what that means. Look at it again. Say it for me. Know thyself. Now, this time I want you to say it, but I don't want you to say it with your mouth. Everybody out there with me, say it.
Yes.
Now, the question I have for you, Miss Tracy, and those of you that's listening, who said the statement that I just asked you to say? And then after you figure out who said it, let me know who heard it. And is that who that I'm talking about the same as you, or is it something different? Then he went into spending more time with that part of yourself that is able to speak without words, that's able to hear without ears. And is that self more powerful or weaker than the actual physical you? And he said, start learning to spend more time with that you, rather than just the you that we act upon. Now, we kind of talk about this in Gye-Nyame when you go to, we have the very first audio that I put together was called, What is the Self?
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about what is the self, and we get into the character, or what we call the personality, and we got into the what is the self piece. This that piece that you are supposed to be talking to and spending time with. Brother, I think this is Brother Joe. He says, know thyself and you will know God. I am that I am. We're gonna post that up.
And neck to and neck.
Who said that?
Brother Joe Berry. He's on our private chat on our Facebook.
Oh, okay. That's my cousin.
Joe Berry is?
Yes.
I didn't know that. But yeah, so that's where we are. That's where we is right now. So that was the initiation, Miss Tracy. And it's just about being able to recognize the other you.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I mean, he went through it. I listened to something else that he did in that way too. But yes, I do remember that. Just, you can hear and see without the body.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he went through 3 stages of initiation, but that first one was a really powerful piece.
Very simple. Something that people can work on. You don't need no teacher necessarily for that one. The only thing you need to have is the discipline to push through and work with it on a daily basis. Because
And to
this,
follow, I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
but
No, I was just gonna say this, because what I don't want people to fall into is the instant nirvana club. A lot of y'all are looking for instant spiritual answers when what it takes is constant and never ending improvements, constant and never ending learning, constants and never ending patience, constants and never ending. You understand? You know what I'm saying? You're constantly elevating. And a lot of y'all want to be part of that instant spirituality club, which does nothing but cause harm, I believe. But go ahead.
no, so another aspect of that was you realize that, you're hearing a voice or you're saying something, but your mouth isn't moving. You're hearing something, but you're not getting vibrations through your ears as such. Um, and and of course, that helps you to know the inner you on the one hand, but then how did he phrase it? Tim, he says that that inner you speaking is an expression of you. When you speak out into the world, that is an expression
Of the
of the one, or
universe
the universe
speaking
speaking through you.
through you. So you got an inner voice you got an inner verse that you hear. But you are an expression and the words of the universe. So be careful what you speak, because it will manifest. And
And which
and a lot of us, we got to really realize that we are cursing our own lives by some of the shit
yes,
that we are spewing.
yes,
right? You know what I'm saying? We need to be clear about that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it just reminded me real quickly of the second line of that, the transformations of Ra that I had to translate. And it basically came out like this: the Nebuchadnezzar spoke words, and he said, and then we got to that point of Nebuchadnezzar. Well, what the heck is that? And from the way it's normally translated by Egyptologists, they say the Lord of all. But through a greater depth of study, if you will, it became as the keeper of all, the maintainer of all, spoke words, and it said. And so that was just tying into what Hatem was just saying about us being an expression of the universe. Because again, that one line the very next line is where he talks about, I came into being as the transformative existence of all that is. I am evolving as manifestations of that initial form.
Mm, mm. I'm evolving as manifestations of the original form. Brother Joe, I think it is. Yes, Brother Joe. He said, yes, I tell people that all the time. Don't down yourself or others because the universe will grant it once it's in the air. No taking it back. You know what I'm saying? We could work through it.
No, but that's where Sister Tracy started off talking about Slick Rick and how he basically lived out
His lyrics.
his lyrics and
He mentioned Biggie. He mentioned
right?
Tupac, even though the information he gave on Tupac, because some of the information that he gave was
Questionable.
right.
Okay.
Let's see. I thank you for the term. It was questionable. You know what I'm saying? So because Machiavelli, you know what I'm saying, according to my research, for years people been talking about Machiavelli faked his death. I have no proof of that. I also heard him say in there that Kush and Kemet are derogatory names, and I haven't run across that. If anybody out there got information on that, that's cool. But just because somebody may be off on one part does not mean that I cannot learn a lesson.
That's right.
From what I'm saying. You
That's
eat
right.
them. You eat for meat eaters. You eat the meat and spit out the bone. You don't not eat meat because it got bones. And those of us that are vegetarians that might not eat meat, you eat the fruit and spit out the seeds. Come on now. So
Unless it's a pumpkin seed or a sesame
yeah.
seed or
Yeah. But it's
I'm
some
just
people that
messing with
but it's some people that grind on all seeds. Some of them got cyanide in them and it will kill you. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we get to speak our own, and this is the piece that I keep trying to stress with people. This is why it's important to formulate tribes. If I speak my existence, what happens when I magnify it with a group of like-minded people?
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to think about that. You know what I'm saying? What do you think the Republican Party is? What do you think the Democratic Party is? What do you think these other groups and these other people have formed?
Mm-hmm.
They have formed groups that warp reality. That's they as groups, they warp reality and they are able to shape and form the reality around them so that they can get stuff done.
Right. I mean, maybe no one really cares about this, but but it speaks to the point. And I'll preface it with this. This notion, and you've heard me say this, Hatem, morality is not necessarily a good thing. Morality will change from person to person. That's why you need people in ethics to help what's the word, to navigate through the various moralities, or to mediate between the various moralities. But having said that, where was I going with that? Oh shoot. Well, we'll
It'll
catch it
come
on
back.
the.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
But he mentioned that too. He said morality is not a divine thing. It's a man-made thing. And a lot of times, like I said, because like I was telling people, like, one of the things that I used to be plagued by with my culture was this whole concept of mayat. And how for a long time I was telling people, y'all kind of fucking up mayat. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all practicing mayat with people that don't practice mayat, which makes absolutely no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or I had a parent one time. I had to pull them outside because we was talking, and they told their child, and I want y'all to listen very closely. They told their child that as long as you honest, baby, you'll never get in trouble. So I had to pull the adult out the room and say, listen, you need to go and put some qualifiers on that shit, please. You know what I'm saying? You need
Right.
You
Right.
see, but we're saying this like we're shocked. But our children go into situations thinking this shit.
Brother, we have adults thinking this stuff in situations.
Right. And wonder why we lose it.
This is exactly bringing in adults. So first of all, let's be clear. Every child has had a temper tantrum. There's not a child in the world that has not had a temper tantrum. And I could say that my children have had one in their life. So once they had the one, that was the last one. So that was handled right then and there. So we weren't having it in the middle of Kroger's. We weren't having it in the middle of, whatever. So we weren't having these temper tantrums. So it made me, think about that. Like, okay, so what about the child that does not get the temper tantrum checked or redirected? Or, the parent that does not nip that in the bud? What happens with that child? Do those children grow up to become adults and the temper tantrums dissolve? Or do we have adults with temper tantrums?
We have adults with temper tantrums.
We have adults with temper tantrums, and we come across them on more than one occasion. And what made me think of that was the adult of the temper tantrum that I came across. I couldn't help but think, your mama or your daddy should have got that together right in that second year, but that's what I thought of.
No, but thank you for that, Tracy, because that takes me back to my point. How Tim was talking about warping reality. That's a perfect example of how a child warps reality. Things go their way, and they think that's how it works.
Wait, I wear my explosion.
Compare that with what's the woman's name? Jenny Thomas, Clarence Thomas. All the stuff she was doing behind the scenes to basically subvert the elections and everything. This woman has. Oh, shoot. This woman has warped reality around her for so long that she can write senators, she can just behave in any kind of way and get a pass on it, basically. I yield.
So I have students who feel like they can act a certain way just because someone else acted this way. And that just goes into, tell the truth and you won't get in trouble. Or because I have children who are honest, and we have, and I respect it to the point where with my youngest son, he was in the third grade, and a boy made a threat to him, and he returned the threat in a more powerful way. And he explained to the teacher, the teacher asked what happened, and she said to me, like, I believe that's exactly what happened. For him to go to another school, that it was a situation where the principal said, well, it's not a doubt that he's not telling the truth. So that in my favor as a parent, said I'm blessed that I have a child that is honest. Unfortunately, his behavior doesn't, his behavior from those moments don't make it okay. Um, in with the first one, third grade was, the third grade was kind of a defense, but I don't think a little boy would have did anything. So we don't take threats lightly. But the second one, the little boy was actually bothering him, and because he didn't come and talk to anyone and did or said what he, so the little boy was actually messing with him. But he's in trouble because he just defended himself. He didn't come and act a way where he should have removed himself from the situation, come and tell somebody and all that kind of stuff. So, but because they both said he told the truth, that meant something to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I could believe his word for right now. I also have a 26-year-old, so I learned that you don't always just believe their word.
Yeah, with respect to this idea of telling the truth, I used to struggle with that idea. This notion of always being honest, because at some point I grew up and I learned that some people aren't worthy of the truth.
Mm.
And then to make something very clear, if I know you intend harm on a loved one, you're not worthy of the truth. You may be able to torture it out of me or beat it out of me, however you may get it out of me, but you are not worthy of that truth.
So wait a second. So listening to what you're saying, it almost sounds like it's not so much as it's not worthy of the truth versus you're still not telling the lie in the substitution. In substitution, you're not lying. You're just not.
But
Look, I'm not going to mince words.
Right.
If it takes time to give a family member or whatever another day or two to get lost, that's what'll happen.
Got it.
See, and
I think what you're saying, depending on the depending on the context, depending on the situation.
And
because I personally have these issues. I mean, it's funny with the lying. It's something about the lying, and I think that's different than what you're talking about. Because in your case, you're talking about a protection of one. That's different than someone blatantly lying. It really irks a nerve within me that you feel like you couldn't tell me the truth about something. And my issue is not so much as that you couldn't tell me the truth about something. My issue is you're doing something, you do something that is not agreeable with me. Instead of not doing what is not agreeable with me, you rather lie about it instead of not doing it. You're not
hold
even
on.
understanding.
You going into mommy mode, nigga. You going into mommy mode. Stop. We see because we're talking about the morality. For example, I started off talking about Mayat. With people that practice Mayat and my people.
At that point,
Hold on. Because I want to be clear. I'm talking about when it comes to us in our circle, in our tribe, where we share a common morality. I am supposed to stand on that morality. But I would be a fool to stand on that same morality over a people. I mean, with a people who have shown me historically that they give less than 2 fucks about me. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, because
that Malcolm X quote I gave Cleve.
I don't know which one. I gotta say I ain't speak to him. I gave my instructions.
Because it sounds like, I mean, what you just said sounds like a Malcolm X quote that I gave one of the brothers. I believe it was Cleve. But go ahead.
Cause she went straight mommy on my ass. Go on, finish, girl.
But no, part of that though is
she done hung up on me again. God damn it.
One aspect of who she is as a mother. And as a mother, you know, we would expect that to come out to some degree.
She was about to whoop
I mean, I'm
somebody's
just
ass.
saying, it's not even just with my kids. I'm just like, I just feel
Like, so, for example, can you give me an example of somebody outside of your immediate family that owes you the truth? Somebody outside your tribe that owes you the truth.
No. I guess we only talk about in my tribe, but in my tribe ain't just my kids.
Right, exactly. But I'm saying, can you speak to somebody outside of that owes you the truth? Because I can give you a couple examples.
No, outside of my tribe that owes me the truth, you learn people who they are. Like, you meet people where they are. It's not it's more personal inside my tribe, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, you know what I mean, right? But it's more personal inside my tribe. I need for my children to always find a way to, I mean, and my grandkids, tell me the truth. That way I know how to defend you if I need to. I know how to discipline you if I need to. But if it's from a lie, you know what I'm saying, you have I don't know how to really explain it. But yes, inside my tribe, I need the truth.
Part of that is our fault. Because we don't have the stories to help somebody be able to wade through. You know what I'm saying? Because I have been put in many situations where individuals in my tribe, in my family, have told lies that shouldn't have been told. That really, like, is more than you hurt my feelings. It's you putting all of us in a fucked up situation. Right. And now somebody gonna get hurt or somebody gonna die. You understand what I'm saying? We don't tell the stories. We don't construct the stories to help, because what a lot of people think is that stories are just to put children to sleep. No, stories are the mechanisms in which we are able to get individuals knowledge and make sure that they are able to hold on to it.
That's right.
Period. If we was to take math and we was able to construct stories around it, our children would have no problems with equations. If we was to take stories and wrap our morality around it, whether they're dealing with us or whether they're dealing with the enemy, our children will have no problem with doing it. But we don't do it. We allow them to sit in front of the TV and get this bullshit that we all the same. And we are operating in this world that is out for the best for everybody. When you and I know that is some bullshit. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? It's for their benefit. So we'll have individuals that will tell the truth to a group of people. Like, for example, I seen a movie yesterday. My mom was watching a movie. It's a movie called Texas Red. Texas Red, right before World War II, supposedly it's a true story, was a dude that lived in, his name is Texas Red, but he lived in Mississippi. He lived in a place called Free Woods. And in Free Woods, he owned a juke joint, where white folks could come, black folks could come, natives could come, everybody was the same. And he allowed them to come. In a neighboring town, some white people didn't like him. So they crept up on his house, knocked on their door, and he greeted them with gunfire. And the first thing they said is, "Red, we just want to talk to you." And he responded to them. How you think he responded to him, Miss Tracy?
gunfire. He already responded. He already responded.
Exactly. See, and our children don't understand. We don't understand that because we all here. We all the same. And we think that morality is something that is we connect our spirituality to our morality so that when I have to tell an untruth, I feel bad about it. When I have to cover for my cousin, I feel bad about it. Because I'm covering for my cousin for this system that I know is going to use my cousin's body to further throw my community into a hole. Now, if my cousin's out here doing some fuck shit, then of course we have to deal with that. But we don't have mechanisms for that at this point in time. But hold on, let me read this comment. I think it's Brother Joe. He's still laughing about the mommy mode, Miss Tracy. He said, I don't know, sometimes you tell a family member the truth and some of them can't handle the truth. Be careful on that. And what I'm saying, now, this is why the tribe structure is important for us right now. Because for some of us, some family, now, and also go back to what Kwame say, just because you related to me does not mean that you're worthy of the truth. Now, Miss Tracy has demonstrated to me through her mothering and through her participation with us as a group that she is worthy of the truth. You understand what I'm saying? And we got to make sure that our children and that our members understand this, right? Because it's like the slightest lie could come back and destroy us in such a way in a world, especially in a world and a reality that we don't control. I done had kids do dirt, come back and lie, and damn near 2 or 3 people is taken away from us.
See, that's an example of chaos theory. See, a person thinks that they tell a little lie, and they have no idea of what the ramifications of that lie might be, particularly as it reflects on the tribe, the family, etc. The question is asked, oh, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
What's the worst that can happen, right? And they think they got it all figured out.
Right.
But but again, the trick of chaos theory is that because you don't have the initial conditions, there is no model in the world you can come up with to predict exactly what the fallout is going to be.
You know, but like I said, where's the story for that? Where's the stories for that? Where's the movies for that from us? You understand? Because that's a very simple concept, and I'm quite sure that if I was to go through my Aesop fables, I could find one. But enough of us are not looking at those ancient stories or looking at those proverbs that crystallize wisdom that our ancestors have left us so that we could go on and build. Miss Tracy's gonna be stepping off in a second. She has to go, and it's okay. Easter. But before she go, let's talk about, because we could talk about this a little bit more on the next show. I don't know when the next show is. I'm gonna leave this to Miss Tracy because this is her, this is her suggestion and her thing. For those that don't know, this is Tribe Talk, and those of you that want to join, like Mr. Joe Berry, if you want to join, brother, all you gotta do is let me know. All right, and like I said, I could go on and put you in after we get the initial conversation. What should we talk about on the next show?
I thought we was going to Amos Wilson. Are we not doing that anymore?
No, I threw out Amos Wilson, but also we still have the book, the parables. We got the parables we got to discuss too.
Yeah, the parables. So
I mean, we can discuss a lot more on this, but
we sure could.
But whatever you decide is cool with me.
This is Miss Tracy's project.
I had one more comment. I had one more comment about the morality piece.
Go and throw it in because I mean it's good.
Well, again, it's one of the things I took exception with what Brother KRS was saying. This notion of taking the 10 Commandments out of schools and stuff. Now, these people had the 10 Commandments for over 400, 500 years. And they still been acting a fool. So it wasn't no damn Ten Commandments taken out of the school. If anything, it's a sense of how to. So his conclusion that the idea, or he stated it as a conclusion. I don't know if he really feels this way, but that taking the Ten Commandments out of school led to more crime, or that's how it comes across. Not considering the matter that, given that there's a lot more people, by the time the Ten Commandments were taken out of schools, a lot more people were going to end up committing crime, if nothing more because of the recessions and all that kind of stuff going on. Shoot. But anyways, just to say that this notion that Ten Commandments being removed from school and that kind of stuff, I think it really goes back to what Sister Tracy was saying or alluding to, in the idea that if we're not practicing this kind of stuff at home, or to borrow somebody else's phrase, if I control the images put before you, I don't give two damns who makes the laws. I yield.
So, Miss Tracy, which direction we going with this? What's going on? Holla at her brother. Holla at her brother.
I just want to know where we will be posting that, because we'll know by Coochie Chocolate and what we'll be talking about on Imani.
It don't have to be. Now, listen, I don't want y'all to fall into the high Tim trap. I keep trying to coach y'all against it, right? Because, like I said, it don't have to be every week. But we could just we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about when we're gonna do it on the Coochie Chocolate mindset. What we need, yes. What I want to throw up now is necessarily what is it that we wanted. All right, so we know Amos Wilson is up in there. We know the continuing
and Octavia Butler, she's another one.
Octavia Butler. For those that don't know, part of the Gye-Nyame culture right now is Octavia Butler. Even though she had a strange type of distant love affair with white boys. That's my opinion. But anyway, she did an excellent job on the Parable series. And we're looking at the Parable series for everybody over 16 years old in Gye-Nyame journey, so that you can kind of get your mind ready for what possibly could be coming, because that is a very, very, very prophetic. I mean, I felt that book. But anyway, so like I said, so we'll let you know, and we'll throw out a flyer to let people know so that y'all can join us for the conversation. We won't belabor this anymore because we know some of y'all got the Easter dinners to go to. Some of my babies is about to go out and do the pagan ritual of searching for the eggs, and I got to go out and burn some sage to make sure that I could turn it. I'm going to use the magic of Gye-Nyame to turn it to something cultural. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we have to start learning how to do too. But go ahead. I'm sorry. You was about to say something.
No. I guess my last statement would just be that many of us are afraid of dying.
Who?
Ignorance is analogous to dying. In other words, ignorance is analogous to death.
Wait a minute.
We have a tribal quote that says, "Immortality is the inheritance
of the partakers of great wisdom." What is
That's
it?
That's right.
Is it great wisdom?
Immortality is the inheritance of the partakers of great wisdom.
Wait a minute.
So if you want to live forever, get with a tribe that's on the upswing.
Damn.
Hip hop.
And 2 Block. Here we go. Look. Here we go. African Openness to the Tree of Life. Right? African Openness to the Tree of Life. That's one of the books that he's been quoting throughout here. And also, we have a workbook, African Deep Thought Workbook, that is based on the African openness to the tree of life that you go and journal in. You also have the Nguzo Saba Challenge Self Mastery Journal, where you can work on going through the Nguzo Saba like we do here at Gye-Nyame Journey to start getting your life together. Come on, family, we got to start working and getting ourselves together so that we can build. Last but not least, we have a 7-week course coming up. And I'm gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna let Miss Tracy talk a little bit more because she's gonna be taking the lead on this one. We're proud to announce the launch of our new Nguzo Saba Challenge training program. We have been working hard over here to bring forth the revolutionary training program, learn everything we know about building a successful tribe, as well as learn how to be part of one. Ground yourself with daily rituals, learn the importance of ceremonies, find out about the 5 parts of your being and how to align them, and plug into ancestral knowledge. Become a tribe builder and work your way through the Gye-Nyame initiation process and become a more powerful warrior, a more focused nation builder, or an enlightened elder. Develop a relationship with our culture and learn to embrace and live the Nguzo Saba, and join us in conquering first ourselves and then the world. The next session will begin on May 30th, which will bring us right back, and I think that will be the 4th Imani of this year. Reserve your spot because they are going fast. Click the link for more. Go to freegnjecourse.com and get on our email list so that you will know when we're mailing it out. These sessions could come with personal coaching, or of course it's going to be group coaching, but it's going to be personal coaching. And also, those who are not willing to sacrifice will not be fulfilled. This is the motto of Gye-Nyame. So, Ms. Trace, you got something you want to add before we roll up out of here?
See you on the challenge.
One love.
Joe said I need to let my kids know that rabbits don't lay eggs. If they don't know that by now, I am a total failure as a father. That's all I'm going to say. I hope they know that already. But anyway, we are out, family. We are gone. And thank you for your time. And I want to thank my guests. First off, we got the Black Yoda, also known as Brother Kwame. He's Brother Kwame, also known as the Black Yoda, as well as Master Poe. That's Poe, not poor. That's Master Poe. And we also have...
We said this Poe.
And we also have Miss Tracy, right? And we want to thank both of you for wanting to... Miss Tracy, I want to thank you for making this happen. I think this could be a pretty good show. We just have to get the situation together for the sound and all that.
The parameters intact.
Yeah, all that. The borders. And we want to send shouts out to Brother Joe. Joe say he want to do the Nguzo Saba Challenge. You know. And,
okay. Yes.
Oh yeah. So I'm creating a flyer, and because we're gonna really push this thing. Because like I said, we need at least 10 people. You know what I'm saying? And I think the max that we could do possibly will be 30. So that's the max so that we can give people the quality that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I am out, and we will see you later.
Peace.
What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.